All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Chaz with Side Hustle Pros here. I'm going to give people a minute because we just had a technical difficulty. So this is a new link that I have to update real quick. So people that were hopping from one to the other, I'm going to give those guys just a quick minute. It turns out if you go live from your phone, which I'm doing right now, because I didn't want to mess around with like microphones and all that crap. It turns out if you start it in vertical mode, it's going to stay in vertical mode. It will not switch over. So I had to turn that to horizontal. So give me a quick second while I get this switched over so I can see your guys' comments. That's the one thing about the phone. The comments pop up and then they disappear after a few seconds. So the only way I can keep up with that is if I actually come on here and hold them up. So what's up, guys? As you hop in, drop a comment below. Let me know where you're watching from. I love seeing how many different countries that we have in here watching these things. It's freaking awesome. And just getting these comment threads pulled up real quick, guys. We're gonna talk about some stuff tonight. All right, we're good. Boom! All right, we're in. Got my comments up. We got the video going. Is audio and video okay? Yes or no? You guys hear me okay? You guys see me okay? All right, cool. So I wanted to talk about hitting the wall, because it's something I hit really hard this week, and it's been weird because we've had the best sales week we've ever had. We've had crazy great partnerships happening with businesses this week. We've got really cool stuff coming through for 2018 that we've been building on this week. But at the same time, I've been hitting such a mental struggle this week, guys. I've been hitting such a struggle bus. You guys probably saw, did anyone watch, comment below, let me know, did anyone watch my reality behind the scenes, like the struggle of being self-employed? I posted a video a couple weeks back about just like the reality of what it does to you mentally when you're self-employed, right? You have these late nights where you contemplate everything. You have these weeks where things just, for some reason, aren't going the way that you thought. And it just happens. The struggle was real. Yes, it was. Now, let me clarify. Tonight's not one of those nights where I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm in a bad mood. I don't want people to think like, oh, crap, I can't come on here and watch the video because I'm going to get depressed. That's not going to happen, guys. I just want to get real with you guys and share about the wall. And some people are questioning what the wall is. Some of you know exactly what it is. And I'm going to talk about it tonight. So first of all, no, this is not vodka. This is water. As much as I wish it was vodka right now, I've not drank any water today. I'm super dehydrated. So I'm going to stop periodically and down this thing. All right, cool. So let's... oh, sweet, man. That was your first video that you watched. That's awesome. Yeah, go back, if you don't know already, we've done actually, dang, what's today? The 21st? So on I think it was December 6th or 9th. I want to say it was the 9th. And either way, we've now been doing this YouTube channel for 2 years, which is freaking amazing. We've had, we're creeping up on 2 million views. We've got 40, I don't even know. I'm not like an analytics hunter or anything like that, because some of these YouTubers, right, they try to chase the views, they try to maximize everything they're doing. I don't really care about that stuff so much, but I think we're at almost 45,000 subscribers. So for all of you that are subscribed, we thank you guys so much, because you guys are the reason that we show up here and do this. This thing has always been just a way of being a couple things. One, it was personal accountability, because I know that if I put myself out there publicly, I'm going to see drastic results, because that forces me to have to show up and back up what we try to teach, right? If I'm up here trying to teach you guys about the reselling industry and building side hustles, you bet your butt I better be doing it myself. Especially this year, guys. The last 3 months, we have gone all in with reselling. I cut out so many things in life, other businesses, projects, I've had to cut a lot out throughout this year in order to grow our e-commerce business, which has been happening this Q4. We got OSS Empire in the house. If you guys are not following Sam, OSS Empire on Instagram, you need to go follow him like right this second. This dude is amazing. You talk about hustle. This guy is doing his full-time student, and he is building an incredible business. He's like the epitome of like side hustle pros, right? Building side hustles, even when you have other stuff going on, like a job or all that kind of stuff. Yes, we can see you. I think is it Nanya? Nanya? Can you guys see me? I haven't done this live chat before. Welcome to the live chat, first time. 19 Cells says we've hit a wall, need to regroup. Shout out to Side Hustle Pros. You guys inspire me to start my own reselling business. Johnny, that's amazing, man. That's why we started this YouTube channel. Number one, it was selfish. I started this because I wanted to stay personally accountable. None your business. I love it. I wanted to stay personally accountable. But number two, of course, I want to inspire other people to stand up, take ownership of their own life, and to create a life that you want to live, right? I was the same way you guys were. I was stuck in a crappy job I did not like. Most of you know my backstory, but if you don't, I was a massage therapist full-time. I'm actually at my 10-year mark. December 14th was my 10-year mark doing massage therapy. I still have 2 clients because they've been with me the longest, and I love these guys to death, so I'm still working on them every few weeks, but for the most part, we are all in with reselling this YouTube channel and our communities that we build in our groups. But it's been a... Dee, real quick, I want to touch base on that. So Dee said the one thing that everyone says when I say I'm a massage therapist, the first thing people say is, wow, your wife must be so lucky. And I always say this, as much as I wish I can stand up here and be like, oh yeah, I give her massages every day. It's almost like when you're a mechanic, you don't want to work on your own car at the end of the day. So yeah, Trista unfortunately does not get massages as much as she should. Her and I always have this battle because I always tell her, if you put yourself on my schedule, I will work on you. That's kind of like the inside joke. But anyone who does a trade job for a living, typically the spouse is not going to be benefiting from that. It's pretty funny. So yeah, let's dive in, shall we? Cheers. Cheers to water because it's good for you, but I haven't drank any of it in like 2 days. So tonight I wanted to talk about the wall. And again, some of you know, did I just compare my wife to a car? I know that's, she's probably watching this too. She's at home. Oh, by the way, Trista is not here, unfortunately. I know some of you are like, I'm not going to watch this because Trista's not there. It's so funny. Yeah, so Trista's not here, unfortunately. Little man was down sick with a pretty bad fever last week, which means Trista and AJ, who is my project manager, she's actually with us for a couple months now. So AJ and Trista are both down with like sinus clogging stuff. I don't have like, hold on. I still haven't gotten it, but it's probably going to catch up with me pretty soon. I still feel great, so I'm taking over the business for a few days. And you guys are on a really like makeshift, I wish I can take a picture of what I have going on right now. You're on a makeshift tripod because I can't find one of my adapters for my phone. So if you get knocked over, I'm sorry, I'll try to correct you. Then I can think of a profession that's like be a spouse of. That is awesome. Speaking of wall, love the wall of Funko Pop figures. Yep, that's my little nerd wall. I basically just started with one, and all of a sudden it turned into kind of my little collection. So if you guys, I know all the big YouTubers, they always like accept gifts. We've never put out our address publicly for that kind of stuff. I guess I just never would expect anyone to send us anything. But if you want to like send us stuff, it's going to be nerdy, like 90s. I'm a 90s kid at heart. Born in 88. Any other 88 people out here? I know Rally Roots, those guys are 29, same age as we are. But yeah, if you guys ever want gifts to send, it's going to be nerdy stuff, 90s Funko Pops. You guys see I got the Falcon up there. Just saw Star Wars last night, which was amazing. But But yeah, let's dive in. Chris is 88. So throughout my little spiel, if you guys have questions, comments, 87. If you guys have questions, comments, drop them in the comments below and I will hopefully get to them. As you guys know, live chats scroll pretty fast, so if I miss your question, just repost it, so hopefully I can see it. First time on a live video for Chris. Welcome, Chris. Shannon, you are more than welcome, my friend. 1988 was your 8th grade year. She created a UPS box just for gifts. It'll be the first one. Yeah, OSS. So we do have a UPS box. Just because I'm not entirely comfortable giving out, like, this is our office right now, so I'm not entirely comfortable giving out our office address, but we do have a UPS box. So if for some reason any of you want the address to that, you can just let me know. Just followed OSS. Yes, you guys follow OSS Empire. Sam is a beast. He's actually got a little, he's getting into some stocks with the Robinhood app, so I just bought into his $10 a month gig. So if you guys want to check out some of the stuff that he offers, I highly recommend it. Still use tactical arbitrage? Yes, I do, every single day. AJ is at the house, who's my project manager. She texted me earlier and said, hey, you have a giant stack of boxes from tactical arbitrage orders. We're a bunch of millennials. Millennials for the win. We're the non-lazy millennials, if that's a thing. All right, so I think we're good. Yeah, we do have a bunch of like 90s kids in here. That's pretty sweet. I guess that's the one thing I've never looked at. I can look at my analytics on YouTube. I should do that, but I've always wondered, like, what's the average age group of the people that watch our stuff? It looks like 90s kids. So shout out to the 90s. Struggle with TA, use your code. 19 cells, message me. I'll get you hooked up. Message me what you're having issues with tactical arbitrage, and I will help you the best that I can. Mr. Shane Romero in the house. How do I go about sourcing this time when the Keep a Chart could be up for just Q4? You have to look back before Q4. So if it's an item that has been around for a while, look at what the Keep a Chart is throughout the whole year and not just Q4, because obviously we all know that Q4 prices are inflated. But once the end of January comes, they start to come back down to neutral. So if it's an item that's been around for a while, you can always look at the year round Keep a Chart and make a decision that way. If it's a new item, there's really no way to determine how great of a price it's going to be next month or February or March. Anyone who says that they can predict what the price is going to be is just full of crap. Because if it's a new listing, a new item, we don't know what it's going to be selling for a couple months from now. Yes, we have considered private label. We actually have like probably 5 private label products that we have in our back pocket ready to go. It's just a combination of the time of year, the capital it takes up front, and I think that's pretty much the only 2 issues. So we decided we were going to launch one private label product a few months ago, but we decided, you know what, in private label, the only issue is you put a lot of capital up front and you don't see any return for about 3 months, because it takes a few months to get from China to here, and then you have to create your Amazon listing or eBay, whichever one you do. And then you have to go through the process of a little bit of marketing. You have to get that listing up and active and selling, and you won't see a return for like 3 months minimum. So we decided we know how to do online and retail arbitrage. That's our powerhouse. We only do that. We don't do anything else right now. So we decided, let's just compound our capital through Q4 with retail and online arbitrage, stockpile some cash, and then at the end of January, we're going to start working on our private label products. One of them is going to be for you guys, so stay tuned for that. I'm super excited about it. All right, we're going to barrage of questions. Tell you what, let's do open Q&A at the end, because I want to get into the topic of the night. But yes, I do want to answer all your questions, so keep those and put them at the end here, because I'm honestly too lazy to scroll all the way back up at the end. All right, let's do this. So I have the topic of hitting the wall. I just realized my tripod is not the best right now. All right, there we go. You guys, P.S., you guys like this shirt? Hustle in silence, your success will make the noise. Love this shirt, just got this one in. All right, so let's talk about this. What does it mean to hit the wall? The wall can be a little bit different for each person. The wall can be just a mental block that you hit. The wall can be a moment in time where you're just struggling. It's different for each person, right? It's not depression. It's not sadness. It's just you hit a wall, whether that's a plateau in your business, your personal life, whatever it is. So when it comes to hitting the wall, there's one story that comes to mind in my head. So anyone who's met me personally, they're always, I don't know why, everyone expects me to be short. I don't know why, but everyone expects me to be short. So every time I've met somebody in person, they're always like, oh my gosh, Chaz, you're taller than I thought. I'm only 6 foot. I'm not like super tall or anything. So I'm a tall dude that's like, I've got shoulders, right? I'm not the lightest person. And that correlates in this story because I ran a marathon one time. If you can believe that, like this body ran a marathon at one time. So this was 2010 Portland Marathon. I had built up to it. So I did the 5K, I did the 15K, I did a half marathon, and half marathon was like my big goal, right? Half marathon was always my eye on the prize. Once that prize got there, I finished the half marathon. Of course, the natural dumb thought for me at the time, because I'm not built for running. Hate running. I'm not built for it, but there was something that year, like 2009, 2010, I was super into running. And at the time, because I was doing so much cardio and I was doing zero lifting, zero strength training, I ended up losing a bunch of weight, and not in a good way either. I mean, if you look back at those pictures, I should share them sometime, but I was a twig. I got down to like 175 pounds. I'm 210 right now. So I got down to 175 pounds. And I had zero strength, but I turned into like this runner, right? So I got down to twig status, zero strength. I was super weak. I had jacked up knees, IT band, ankles, all that kind of stuff that comes with it. So after I finished this half marathon, I'm like, wow, I wonder what a full marathon would feel like. It can't be that much worse. So I trained for a full marathon. I had to sacrifice, at the time, Tristan and I were just dating, okay? I'm trying to think, 2010. So we were dating for 2 years at the time. So we've been together almost 11 years now. Holy crap. We've been together almost 11 years. It's crazy how fast that goes by. So at the time we were together for about 6-7 years. Sorry, did my math wrong. Flip that around. 2 to 3 years, maybe upwards of 4. Either way, so I trained for this marathon. I had to sacrifice so much time with her, especially during the like dating season of a relationship where you're still trying to like super impress each other and try to put on your best behavior. So I had to sacrifice a lot of that stuff, because if you guys have trained for a marathon, do we have any marathon people in here? Have you guys ran one before? So if you've run a marathon, you missed anniversaries a lot. Funny story, I'm actually the one that remembers every date of everything. I have a weird memory with numbers. I remember all the anniversaries, so she's the one that forgets. Shannon's done a 5K. Yeah, so races are fun to do. I still love them. Not marathons, but I love other races. We'll talk about that in a minute. So when I trained for this marathon, I had to give up a lot of time with Trista. I had to give up a lot of time with my family because I was still living with my parents and my siblings at the time. I had to give up so much because when you train for a marathon, at least once a week, you have to do a long run. And this, for me, being a slow runner, I don't even know why I say run. It was like a jog, right? So this thing took me like, 2, 3, 4 hours. Every Saturday was like my big running day. And so I had to do all these training runs 4 or 5 days a week to be out there hitting the pavement. I literally ran from one town to the other town on one of my biggest runs. Because I lived in Amity, Oregon. That's where I grew up, went to high school. That would be super random if we have any Amity people in here, or like McMinnville where we're at now. But I ran from Amity to McMinnville and back every week. So you guys can get an understanding of how much time this thing took. So I trained and trained and trained, put in so many hours, and I loved it. And then I did the marathon. So I'll never forget this day. Like, I ran the marathon. the gun goes off, boom, start. It's like 7 a.m. It's still dark. It was in October in Portland, which means it was raining. So we're running through puddles. We're getting drenched on. It was absolutely miserable. Now, I felt good because I trained. Like, I loved the training, so I trained. And I got to mile 16. So at mile 16, if you're familiar with Portland area, we have something called the St. John's Bridge. Big old bridge that goes over the Willamette River. Now, before that bridge on this street that we were on, it's a huge incline. So mile 16, I feel good. My lungs are great. My legs feel okay. And I hit that total like floating sensation. If you guys have ever gotten the runner's high, it's like this it's a different world. Like you're in this state of mind where you're just, man, you're rocking your music, you're floating, you feel good. You're kind of getting with that beat in the music type of thing. And once this hill came up, everyone was walking. Everybody was walking. So you run when people are chasing you. I do now. I do not run distance now. So I'll never forget. I came up on this hill and I thought, why is everybody walking? Like, I feel good right now. I'm not going to walk this hill. Everybody was walking up this hill. So I steered towards the left. I started powering up this thing. I increased my pace. I powered up this hill. Halfway up the hill, and if you've ever done a marathon, you know what I'm talking about. My quads, specifically because I've been doing massage for a few years, I know my stuff. Vastus medialis, which is the inner part of your quads, those things went like this. They locked up. I'm not even talking like, you guys know when you wake up in the middle of the night and you have like a hamstring like cramping up on you or something like that. Hurts, it's uncomfortable. This was 10 times worse than that. This was like the entire muscle just locked down. And this was halfway up the freaking hill. So once I got up this hill, I had to stop. I had to sit down. I had to like sit there and start working on my legs. I'm beating the crap out of these things, getting them to like loosen up. Nothing's working. And so I sat there for probably a good 10 minutes and I got up, I start walking, I'm hobbling at this point. So from mile 16 to the end of the race, which is 26.2 for a full marathon, from mile 16 to 26.2, that sucked. I had to try to jog for like a quarter mile and then I had to walk a quarter mile. And I tried to do this walk jog thing back and forth. And I hit a point, so that was like the physical moment that my legs gave out. But then there was something deeper than that happened at about, I want to say it was mile 22. It was like 20 to 22, which in a marathon, it's notorious. Like miles 18 through 22 typically do this to people. Physically I was hurting bad, but there was this mental they call it the wall for a reason. It was literally just a wall just got put up. And that was unlike anything I've ever experienced. That was like, it was the weirdest experience to mentally say, okay, my legs work. They hurt, but they work. Why can't I jog? It was just this huge mental block that got put up. And it was so difficult. But you find ways to get through that. So I had to break for a little bit. I had to work on my legs. I had to get that blood flow pushed out. And then I ended up hobbling over that finish line and I finished. So I completed the thing. Now, why am I even talking about a marathon? This correlates into business, guys. This is one thing, because back then I was not a business person. I wasn't a business builder. I was just working for the man like everybody else is doing. So I ended up correlating this into business because especially, it's weird, like as you grow bigger, you think that more money means you'll have less problems, and it's not that way at all. Like more money is going to be like, it's not any different than having less money because you're still always trying to break through that next thing. And that was a big misconception I had when I started my business. Was I thought like, okay, if I'm playing around with a couple $100s at a time, I'm struggling. I wish I could do a few thousand. But then when you do a few thousand, you're like, wow, I wish I could play around with 5,000. Then you play with 5,000, you're like, wow, I can't wait to play with 10. Like you're always pushing to that next level. And that was something that just instantly reminded me, like when you have these tough times, you're going to have to do a few things. And it's just like when I went through that marathon, the first thing I did when I hit that plateau, right, that wall got put up during that marathon race, I had to sit down, I had to take a break. That was the first thing I needed in that time. So if you're in a point where in your business, in your personal life, and this isn't just business talk now, this is just life. So if you're in a point with your business, your personal relationships, your health and your wellness, your fitness, like all these different aspects, if you hit that wall where it's like you're just complacent, you're not happy anymore, you don't feel good, you're just frustrated for whatever reason, if you hit that wall, guys, like first thing you've got to do is take a break. I don't care if you take half of a day to just go walk around the park by yourself. I don't care if you take a weekend. Like we're taking a weekend, we're leaving tomorrow. We take a weekend and we go to the coast. I'm going to be MIA. So we take a coast break for 3 days. And that's one of our breaks because I hit a wall this week. I hit the point this week where I've been pushing so hard and so hard and so hard throughout Q4, like all of you guys are doing. Like we're all in this together, right? You guys are, anyone else as exhausted as I am? We push so hard for so long. You're going to break eventually. Newport, Seaside, hey, you know the area. We're actually going down to Lincoln City. So just kind of our generic, it's like 45 minutes away. So we're excited because we're both burnt out right now. Like we've been pushing our Q4. I started pushing hard for Q4 before Q4 was here because we skipped Q4 last year. We didn't do Q4, which was stupid. Now that I know what it does. So this year I started in August. So ever since August, I've been like, I have missed so many family dinners. I've missed so many little outings and trips and time with friends, time with my own family, like my little boy and my wife, like the two most important people in my life. I've missed so much time with them throughout the last several months because that's what I needed to sacrifice in that moment to build the business up to that next level. And those are just sacrifices that we all have to make eventually if you want to build an honest business. It's just sacrifice. So throughout this process, I've really learned more about myself this year than I think I ever have. And I've learned one thing is I'm going to break eventually. I'm going to break eventually. If I push so hard, sure, the business is doing better right now than it ever has. But at some point you're going to break. And I know myself well enough now that I need to take breaks. And whether that's every day, just chill out for an hour for lunch instead of like grabbing food for 5 minutes and going back to work, like I should probably take a full hour. I should probably start clocking out a little bit earlier at like 6, 7 o'clock instead of being up till 8 or 9 and then going home. Like all these little things that play a role, guys. You need to learn what works best for you. I'm just kind of like unloading my brain and unloading my thoughts here for you guys, and hopefully it might help somebody. But I know myself well enough now in this ball game that I need to take breaks. That's how I can prevent these walls from happening, these mental breakdowns, these barriers that get put up. Because the harder you push yourself, it's like when you go out and run, right? If you sprint, you go all out, you push as hard as you can. The average human body is not going to last more than like 20 to 30 seconds of 100% capacity. You're going to burn out at about that 30-second mark. And that's if you're like a high-level athlete, right? But if you slow it down a little bit and you jog, you can go for hours. So that's how it is with your business too, is if you're all in, you're going at a sprint, pushing, you're going to break down eventually. Your body, your mind, everything's going to eventually just say, hey, you need to slow down. And this comes into learn to listen to your body's cues, right? This is like the fitness coach, because for those of you who don't know, I do health and fitness coaching as well. This is the coach coming out in me now, as I'm talking to y'all as like clients. Your body is designed with mechanisms that tell you what it needs. Okay? It tells you exactly what you need. If you're thirsty, you feel a level of thirst. If you're hungry, your stomach growls. Like your body has mechanisms built in that tell you exactly what it needs. So if you are getting headaches, if you're extremely just exhausted, I'm talking like, you all know what I mean, like some nights you just can't keep your eyes open, right? You hit these points and your body's giving you cues. You can only ignore those for so long until it has a damaging effect on your system. That's what it's like to hit the wall. When you're exhausted You know, like me, this might literally my first time today drinking any water, right? I started to get a headache. I even thought about, like, I'm being honest and vulnerable with you guys. I was not going to do this live. Even though I posted several times, like, hey guys, 6 o'clock, we're going to go live. Like 5:30 came around and I'm going, oh, I have a headache. I haven't drank any water today. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but I'm showing up, right? But your body's giving you cues. So if you're getting the headaches, if you're getting, let's look at it this way. We all love to eat junk food, right? It tastes so damn good going down. But if you eat a giant pizza or you eat a cheeseburger, you eat a whole bunch of ice cream, and your stomach is just wrenched up afterwards, or you feel like taking a nap afterwards, that's a cue that you probably ate too much. It's not saying you can't eat it, just eat less, right? Again, this is the coach coming out in me, so if you don't like being coached, I'm sorry. I'm just, I'm unloading my brain here. So when you hit that wall, guys, listen to your body's cues. Do you need more sleep? Do you need more water? Do you need to clean up your nutrition? Should you start doing yoga? Should you exercise? Like, ask yourself these questions. How can I start to improve these cues that my body's throwing up? They're red flags, okay? If your body every day is throwing up a red flag saying, hey, you need sleep, you need sleep, you need sleep, and you keep ignoring it, your body's going to get to the point where you can't ignore it anymore, and something's going to happen. It's the same thing, like for me, anyone who knows my story, so I lost 50 pounds at one point, and I had to reach the point of absolute disgust with myself until I did anything about it. And that's the point that most people have to reach. So throughout this process, like, listen to the cues that your body's giving you to see if you're hitting that wall or that mental block. And then number two is you need to start asking yourself, how can I better improve this? It's not going to happen quick. It's not going to be a switch that you flip and life is great and better. It's going to be small little daily choices and improvements that you start making. So if it's in your business, which most of us are here for business, right? So if it's in your business, you need to ask yourself, what do I need to start doing to improve myself? Because and anyone who is in my groups or has been coached by me, you all know my one phrase I always say: if you feel your best, you give your best. I don't care how great your business is. I don't care how many millions of dollars that you sell every year. It means nothing if you feel like shit. And that's just the honest truth. Because I've gotten to the point where it's like, sure, I may have one of my best sales week of my life, but is that worth the sacrifices and the feeling that I really have on the inside? So that's a balance that you need to play with yourself. So another thing too is this helps me out a lot if I find myself hitting the wall or like a mental tough spot. I totally just knocked the table, so I'm sorry if I knocked you guys. Here we go. So another thing that really helps me out if I do hit that like wall, right, the mental block, whatever you want to call it, and I do apologize, I'm not hitting comments right now. I have my phone up here for you guys, and then comments are down below. I'm gonna loop back through those, so I promise I'll get to you. So the thing that helps me a lot too is coming up with new goals. Is always something that really helps out, because it has to be a goal that really, like, it makes you excited to get out of bed. And I know we've all heard like the traditional, like, you've got to have a why that makes you cry. You've got to be passionate about what you're doing. But even if you love what you do, you can burn out, and that's okay. It's not a bad thing. You just need to listen to your body. Okay? So if you're at a point where it's like you're not excited about what you're doing anymore, it's turned into just a grind, and not a grind in a good way. Right? I'm all about that grind, but there's a bad way to do it too. If you've hit that point where you're just burnt out, just take a break, look at your goals that you're currently working towards, and ask yourself, like, do I need to adjust these? Do I need to make new ones? Anytime I make a new goal, it's like a fresh start. Especially with like health and fitness. Like recently, I'm running a test group right now, so I'm going to be launching a health and fitness program of my own. I've always partnered with other companies and promoted their stuff. But I recently just put together my own program that I have a test group. Do we have any test group people in here? I'd be super excited if we got some in here. So we have 40 people right now going through my program for health and fitness, nutrition, all that fun stuff. It's a home program, or they can do it in the gym. And so these guys are killing it right now. But it took a fresh start for that program for some of these people to kind of have like that fresh energy that they needed. They needed to have that day one, that fresh start and a fresh goal to work towards. And it's the same thing in your business too. So really ask yourself what you're working for. And the last one too that really helps me out, I just want to touch base on this too and I'll get to questions, is come up with a new schedule. Switch it up, like change it. We're human. Humans, we have this horrible behavior of doing the same thing over and over and over, and you become complacent. I think as humans, we become bored, right? So if you're at that point where you're just kind of bored with what you're doing, that boredom might be the root cause of why you hit the wall in the beginning. So if you're just bored with the same day routine that you're doing, switch it up, right? Wake up a little bit earlier. I can promise you, if you exercise and start your day off with a workout, and I'm not talking like you have to go to the gym and pump some iron and do a bunch of weights, like just wake up and go for a walk. Wake up and do some yoga. Wake up and just meditate. Like do something different for yourself first thing in the morning. That's going to jumpstart your day, guys. One of my favorite phrases I've ever heard was the first hour of your day is the rudder. Okay? The first hour of your day is your rudder. So if you wake up like the average person does, the average person wakes up late because they've hit snooze so many times. They wake up with just enough time to shower, get the family ready for whatever they have to do, school, work, etc. They hop in the car, race to work. They're stressing because they're going to be like 1 minute late. And then you go out throughout your day, domino effect, and then you get home and you're so exhausted you can't even have time for your family. You have no energy for your kids. You feel like shit, and then you eat a bunch of junk and go to bed, and you repeat the process every day. Not my life. Not okay, because I used to do that. Not anymore. So if you start your day by taking care of you, I can promise you, you're going to have more energy through the day. You're going to get more stuff done, and you're going to be a better father, a better wife, a better husband. You're going to be better for your kids. You're going to be better for everything when you feel good, right? Yeah, like Jonathan said, the old rat race. Like, I got so burnt out on the rat race, so I stopped running that race. Guys, that race is your choice. Every day is your choice. Like, let that sink in for a minute, guys. Every single day is a choice. You have the same 24 hours that I do. You have the same 24 hours that the next person does. What you choose to do with it is up to you, but you have to suffer the result, whether it be good or bad, that comes from that. It's a choice, guys. So if you want more energy, if you want to feel better, if you want to break through these walls, break through these plateaus, get up, move your body, take care of yourself, take care of your family, get up and kick some ass. You can have that mindset every single day. This has taken me years, by the way, to develop this mindset. It's taken me years. I wish you guys can see like 5 years ago and 10 years ago when I was not the person I am today. But I knew, looking forward, I knew there was a version of me I wanted to be, and I had to work in order to grow into those shoes that I wanted to walk in. And I get to walk them today now. There's a version of myself that's 10 times better 5 years from now. And I'm working every day to fill those shoes that I want to walk. And that's up to you guys on how you do it, or even if it's something you want to do. Because some people in life, they're completely happy with where they are and they don't have any big extravagant goals, and that is awesome. Like Gary Vee says, as long as you're happy and you're not complaining, you've already won. That's one of my favorite things that he says, because it's true. He talks about how he knows people that make $40,000 a year at a regular job, and they get to have a balance of their job and their family life, and they love it and they're happy and they've already won. That's awesome. But if you make $40,000 a year at a regular job, but you complain and you have no energy and you hate it, that's not okay. Start a side hustle, build the life that you want. So those are just a few things that work for me. One is just taking a break. If you guys haven't, just take a day off, just a full day. I don't care if you have to hire babysitters, ship off your kids to the grandparents. Do something that allows you the time to just take a day off. A full day. Do whatever you want. If you have a hobby that you used to do that. Think about these things that you had so much fun and joy doing in the past that you don't do anymore because you're too busy, and do that. Take some time and do it, even if it's for an hour. But take some time for yourself. That's my first thing, is just take a break. Whether that's bigger breaks throughout the day, a full day off, or like what we're doing to get our mental break is this weekend. Tomorrow we get in the car, we hit the road, and we're gonna be off the grid for 3 days. We're going to the coast, and we rented a cabin for Christmas weekend, and we're just gonna chill. We're just gonna turn off the brains and just recoup and get those batteries recharged for 2018. Next is come up with fresh goals and switch up your schedule. However that works for you, because it's totally different for each person. I can't give you the best schedule to follow. I can give you my exact layout of my schedule, and it's going to be totally different for each of you. So just switch up your schedule somehow. That's my other one. So if we have any questions, now would be the time to drop them below. I know I just rambled on about my nonsense for a while. So if you're still watching this, thank you. We appreciate it. If you've gotten any value out of this video so far, hit that like button. That helps us out on this channel. That shows me which types of videos that you like and which ones I should do more of. So feel free to hit that like button if you've gotten anything out of this. So let me get to questions, comments, etc. Have you guys considered Wholesale? It's the model I think I'd like to go with. Yes, we are actually, I can't announce anything for a while on this, but yeah, we're getting into Wholesale. I'll just leave it there. We're getting into Wholesale. Actually, as soon as like Tuesday, like after Christmas, we're officially in Wholesale. Still struggling with finding items for retail arbitrage because of the restrictions. I've been following your wife with eBay. Awesome. Yeah, you guys, eBay is such an incredible, underrated platform, because I know a lot of people that watch this channel are always like Amazon, Amazon, Amazon. And guys, as a former anti-eBay person, look into eBay. Like anything that you see that you're restricted on that's profitable on Amazon, look it up on eBay, because I can promise you there's going to be at least one that you find that will be profitable there too. As far as restrictions, if you start scanning stuff for Amazon and you're finding that you're restricted in a bunch of it, you either have to make a decision that you're going to sell it on another platform, pass altogether, or if it's a good enough profit margin and you keep finding them, do what Amazon asks and get ungated. So go to apply, right? Go into your Seller Central on your computer and list that item, add product, and it's going to say listing limitations apply. So you click on that and apply to get approved, and it's going to tell you exactly what they need. Typically, they want 10 units ordered on an invoice from a wholesale or distributor. Then you just go down the rabbit trail and find one. That's as easy as it can be, guys. I'm not saying it's going to work every time. You're going to have to go back and forth with Amazon reps a few times, most of the time. But if it's a brand that you really want to get ungated in, you've got to be consistent and persistent with that and just keep trying, guys. But don't just scan something, look at restricted, and be like, oh crap, I'm restricted, I can't sell it. Like, there's other platforms, and you can get ungated if you put in the work to do it. If you keep grinding, you'll start finding items and you'll start to get a feel for things, but scan everything. Yes, that's a very, very big one, guys. Here's my biggest thing that I wish I can go back and tell myself. Don't scan stuff that only you like. I would only scan electronics and toys. Because those are the things I like. Those are the things I know. But until I start, I went down like the pet aisle one day and just started scanning like dog treats and like weird stuff. And I'm like, holy crap, there's stuff that's profitable down here, right? So go down the aisles that you're not used to and start scanning, and just, you get better. Here, okay, let me back up. You'll become a better seller by selling things. As a YouTuber, as somebody who creates content for you guys, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all on watching my videos. I don't want you watching my videos if you're not like practicing what we're trying to teach here, okay? Don't watch a bunch of this, be like, wow, that was really motivational. Like, I feel really good. I'm pumped up. And then you don't do anything with it. Like, that's no good. You got to go do something with the information. Movie marathons. Definitely a fan of the movie marathons. OSS says, I feel you, man. I literally hit the wall today. I really didn't want to do anything, which is weird, but I'm always pumped up. Yeah, that's part of the ball game, guys. Like, you can be as energetic as you want, but like, we all have these little down days. It's not like you're depressed or anything. It's just, you know, you have these days where you just flat out, like, you don't feel like doing any work. And those are little moments like your body's telling you, like, hey, take a break, or like go do a hobby, or like just do something that's out of the ordinary. Mike says, one tough coach. You guys, I used to be such a people pleaser. It's laughable. I used to say like, oh yes, yes, like I was very soft spoken because I cared so much what people thought about me. I felt this need to be accepted by anyone and everyone. And then I started doing YouTube, and I learned real quick you can't please everybody. Yeah, so I learned, especially with health and fitness coaching, you don't pay me to be your friend. You pay me to be your coach. And as a coach, I have to tell my clients what they need to hear first, not necessarily what they want to hear. But I have found that by holding people accountable in that sense, it's the ones who get the most results. The ones who just want me to be a mirror and reflect whatever problems or excuses they have, those are the ones that quit. Those are the ones that don't follow through. So I've learned, like, I have to be kind of like that tough coach. But I'm still likable. I'm not too bad. I don't think, at least. Everything is either, oh, I love this. Everything is either an obstacle to grow, or I'm sorry, an obstacle to growth, or an obstacle to keep you from growing. Everything is either an obstacle to growth or an obstacle to keep you from growing. Think on that one. Joseph, what's up, dude? Said, I have been watching your channel before Side Hustle Pros and have always enjoyed them. Plus, I just got my LLC today and have more opportunities. I'm excited for 2018. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I actually have run YouTube channels for 9 years. I've only been running this one for 2 years. So I did health and fitness channels in the past. Actually, sneak peek for anyone that's interested, I just created a new one. There is a health and fitness channel I just created, so stay tuned for that. I'll give you guys a plug later. Do you need invoices to get ungated on each category? For the most part, a lot of categories and already. There's just a few that you will have to go through a process. Like grocery is probably the biggest one. Grocery, you do have to get ungated. So you have to find a wholesaler or a distributor, create an invoice that has 10 products on it that you ordered, and then submit that invoice to get approved. You guys, don't let ungating be this like big, huge, fancy obstacle. Like, ungating it's way more simple than a lot of people try to make it out to be. Yeah, big dog. So there's a difference between category gatings like grocery or brand restrictions. So brand restrictions, like what Shannon just said here, is like Nike, for example. If you're restricted on anything Nike, that's not the shoes category that's restricted. You can be ungated or approved to sell shoes, but you might be restricted in Nike. Nike is going to be the brand restriction, and they do have a $1,500 fee, plus you need a wholesale account, which is extremely difficult to get. You have to be, I believe you have to be a brick and mortar store. They send a rep out to like look at your store to make sure it's legit, and then they'll start to work with you as far as getting a wholesale account. Yeah, Nike's a tough one. We're actually grandfathered in. I don't sell Nike on Amazon just because, you know, once they made that partnership, there's way too much risk for me to really want to play with that. I used to sell Nike a lot on Amazon, not anymore. eBay, guys. There's money in eBay. Go follow the Hustle Bee. If you haven't seen our episode with him, dude just crossed $30,000 in sales for 30 days. All Nike. It's like 99% Nike on eBay. So go give him a follow. I'm new to this idea and seem to go to eBay more often than not. Is it worth to list with fast and free shipping? you're going to get a 50-50 split when it comes to this topic of like, do I offer free shipping or do I charge the customer shipping? One, I think it depends on the item, right? It depends how cheaply you can actually send it. But two, it's trial and error because it's different for each account. Like there's so many people that will tell you like, you have to charge your customers, you're missing out on money, you have to do it. I do great with it. But then other people, it's like, I offer free shipping all the time and I have a faster turnover rate. So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. You kind of have to play around with each one and see what works best for you. I'm a big fan. People don't like this answer, but a lot of questions can be answered with, I don't know, try it. I don't know what's going to work best for you until you try both and see what works better for you, right? You might try free shipping and just decide you hate it. You might try paid shipping and decide that your sales aren't coming through as fast, or it could be the other way around. I know a lot of people that go from free shipping to paid shipping and they have the same amount of sales. Again, it's different for each person, so you really have to just try both. You should sell Nike. I have had 0 issues. Some items are restricted, but 99% of the items I scan are. Yeah, I'm in that same ball game. I was hitting Nike outlets. Being around Portland, we have a lot of outlets. I was hitting that thing every Friday and taking like 20, 30 pairs. They were quick sellers. I never had any issues. I had one IP issue, but I fought it and I won. But after that issue popped up, I don't know. It was a hesitation, so I still got that hesitation with Amazon on it, just because Amazon is so strict. I mean, you know how it goes. I mean, I'm 99.99% probably in the clear if I just start flipping Nikes on Amazon again. There's just I'm getting way more into like the idea of wholesale and opening up those accounts and going that route though. Have I decided to stay completely away from pallets? On Amazon, yes. I will not purchase pallets unless they are shelf pulls that have shelf pulls or overstock, which means they're brand new items. And the invoice that I purchase from has an itemized breakdown, including UPCs. Because if Amazon, because I had this happen, guys. I had a complaint come in from a pallet item, which a pallet is a box of liquidated items, customer returns, all that stuff. I had an item that I had it wasn't an IP, it was a counterfeit. It was a counterfeit claim that came in, and the company that I bought through, I'm not gonna put names or anything like that out there, but the company I bought through had one invoice for the pallet as a whole, and because it did not show an itemized breakdown, that was a really tough one to fight. So now I have a nice nick against my account because I wasn't able to prove that that was an authentic item because I didn't have the official like UPC breakdown of the items. So I won't touch liquidation on Amazon unless it's an overstock or shelf pull that has an itemized invoice that I can prove authenticity. I always think of the Drake meme when I think of shipping where he says no shipping for 25 plus 5. But yes for 30 with free shipping. Yeah, it's funny how the customer's mind works, right? Because you can charge $25 for the item and $5 shipping, and they won't even look at it. They'll scroll past, but then if they see $30 with free shipping, like free shipping is the thing that snaps in their head, so they go all over it. Yeah, Manifest I'm very, very strict on. I get weekly, guys. Weekly, my channel and our email gets blown up like, hey guys, because they know that they just want us to promote to you guys. And there's a few companies that I have promoted in the past because at the time of the promotion, it checked out. It was all good to go. And there's been several that I say no every week to so many. I can easily turn, like all of us YouTubers, like we can easily turn our channels into like marketing funnels. And I won't do that. Like I will only ever promote paid stuff in here that I'm personally using and that I believe in. That's the only time you'll see me do anything that's paid on this channel. I'm not just gonna I don't do these sponsored videos things unless it's a product I'm really gonna be backing. But I've turned down at least like 2 to 3 a week, every single week. It's like, hey, we wanna pay you to do a video about our product. Like, unless it's something I use and I'm gonna believe in, I'm not gonna turn you guys into some sales funnel. That's just not how I roll. Anyone who knows me personally, I'm the last person that's gonna turn into some marketing guru or any crap like that. Did we sell all of our Oreos? We're this close. We're this close. We sent in a bunch of Oreos that we found, some limited edition Oreos. I sent in 70 units of one SKU, And at the time, they were selling for like $14.99. By the time my box got there, they were dropped down to like $8, which I was losing money at that point. So I had to wait for those low ballers to sell out. Luckily, we've been selling at like 12 bucks, and we've been making like a $2 profit on every bag. But I'm waiting. I think we've got like 30 of those left. So I'm just happy I don't have to have 70 Oreos sent back to me, because you would all get Christmas presents if that was the case. Just tuned in, but what do you recommend to flip at the moment? Liquidation pallets, Chinese wholesale, or just random stuff you find throughout your adventures? Right now, we are all retail and online arbitrage. So the Walmarts, the Targets, the Kohl's, Toys R Us, Think Geek, like all these local retailers that we have around here. Basically, just I created a path, a routine that I go through every week. So that's what we're doing right now. Starting New Year, we are going to be, actually starting Tuesday before the New Year, we're going to be getting into wholesale. Late January, early February, we're going to start working on our PL product that we've been wanting to do for a while. We're probably going to launch 2 PLs at the same time, because there's 1 and 2 totally different niches that I really want to do. Will there be a meetup next year? So we host several meetups throughout the U.S. Anytime that I travel, Tristan and I, sometimes we travel separately, but for the most part, usually it's me that will travel the most. So usually anytime I travel, we do host meetups. So there will be a meetup in Vegas. I know we saw Vegas down here. There will be a meetup in Vegas in March at ASD. ASD is a big market week type of deal that goes on for Amazon, eBay, all that kind of stuff. It's like a giant market where people can come liquidate their inventory, surplus, all that stuff. So we will be having a Vegas meetup for sure. We're going to be going to Florida. There's going to be a Texas trip. There's Denver. Like there's all these different cities that we're going to be flying to. So we will host little mini meetups. As far as the big one, we are still doing our Side Hustle Pros conference. So we're looking at right now, we're still working on venues. That's the biggest issue we're battling right now is venues. So that's going to be at the last weekend of May is what we're shooting for. Last weekend of May is the conference weekend, hopefully, as long as these venues can get back to us pretty soon. Bitcoin is down right now. I highly recommend putting some money into it. When it rebounds, you can make some good profits. Really help grow my eBay store. Nice. Yeah, Bitcoin is kind of my, it's on my radar. I'm not putting a whole lot into it right now. I know myself well enough. The second that I start a new project or like a new income stream, I go all in. Siri.
Okay, just tell me what you want to be reminded about.
Can you guys hear this? Siri just turned on my. Siri, turn off.
Yes, to your reminders.
Oh, jeez. Siri just turned on my iPad, and now she's setting a reminder for something I just said. Okay, I think we're good. That was funny. Yeah, anytime I go into something new, I typically get super excited, and I go all in, and then I let all the others slack. That was my biggest issue I had last year. So I cut out like 3 or 4 different projects this year. So I'm just focusing on Amazon, eBay, and the YouTube channel, and then our VIP groups. Like those are I've got tunnel vision right now. Health and fitness coaching too, of course. That's my tunnel vision right now. Wishing you and your family a Merry Christmas. Thank you for everything you do. Always inspiring and great content. Juliet, thank you. Merry Christmas to you and the family. Much, much appreciated. Happy birthday to the little one. Oh, thank you, Shannon. Yeah, little man just turned 3, which is nuts. Just a couple days ago, turned 3. Super excited. I know, Haley. I need to go look at what she set a reminder for. I didn't even say anything near Siri. I don't know why she turned on. It's too funny. Cool. Well, now's your chance. We'll give it like 3 more minutes. We're at the hour mark, so if you guys have any last minute questions, anything, if I missed your question, please repost it. I do my best to try to like scroll through and keep up with it, but as you all know, it can be kind of tough sometimes. Super creepy. Do I source books? Yes, I do. I source books primarily at Goodwill, and I use the eFlip program. This is basically my only 2 book sourcing things I do. I'm going to be messing around with the new app that Caleb came out with Scout IQ a lot more too, so that's going to be a pretty sweet thing. My goal with Scout IQ is to, and I want to teach you guys how to do this kind of stuff down the road too, is I want to use Scout IQ to master it myself, and then I want to hire an employee that's going to use it to basically go out and hunt the books and drop them off here is what I'm going to do. Bria, how often do you guys do live videos? We are back on schedule, guys. We have always been once a week. The last like 6 weeks, it's been pretty inconsistent. So we are going to be back on regular schedule. Don't quote me, but I believe we're going to try to do Tuesdays at 6 Pacific time, so that's 9 p.m. Eastern time. Tonight's obviously Thursday, but tonight was the only night that worked out this week. But we will be doing live videos once a week. And Trista actually does another live video of her own once a week, and she does haul videos. So she'll show you exactly the kind of stuff she's buying from Goodwill bins. Yes, shout out to my buddy Mike here, Michael Sierras. So we do have an eFlip group if you're not familiar with that. So if you want to get involved with that, Mike will actually post eFlip leads. This dude is like, he's got to be the master of the Keepa charts right now. He's got more knowledge about how Keepa works than anyone I know, because he's been practicing and practicing and practicing every single day. So if you need information, just message me. Best way to get a hold of me, guys, because people ask me what's the best way to get a hold of me, go onto our Instagram and just look up Side Hustle Pros and DM me on there. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. Or on Facebook, either one. How do you feel about rental properties and real estate in general? Real estate is my next big business I want to get into. I just know it's going to take a lot of time and energy to get into. I almost got into it. Like Mike and I went to the same seminar. We almost got into real estate, like seriously. But at the time, it didn't line up. You know, it's one of those things. I'm glad I went. I'm glad I learned the information that we learned. I know what to expect next time. But it's like any business. Like you have to ask yourself, are you willing to devote everything you have to it to grow it without sacrificing what you already have? Because I'm no longer going to split myself into several different directions. I have tunnel vision right now. I know, and that came through experience. Like I failed 2016. It was a huge learning experience because I was spreading myself too thin. Hold on, we gotta remove some peeps. All right, there we go. I need to get like a moderator inside of my chats for now, and is what I need to do. Will wholesale give you more time, or will it consume more of your days? It's going to save more time, and here's why. With what we're doing now with retail and online arbitrage, online arbitrage isn't that time consuming because it's just sit on your computer and find products that way. The problem I have with retail arbitrage, it's what I'm most experienced in. It's what I know how to do, but I have to go out there and drive. I have to go hunt the products down. I have to make buy lists. If I have people that go source for me now too, but even then, like I have to give them the list to go buy, and so it saves a little bit of time that way. But for the most part, like I have to go out there and hit the road and go put in those steps to find these products, bring them back here, and then I have an employee now that will prep all my Amazon stuff. But with wholesale, the time is up front, so it takes time to find a profitable product and to find a wholesaler that gives it to you at a price that is still profitable on your end. Once you make that happen though, every month or every 2 weeks or every 6 weeks, however often you replenish, then you just give them a call or go online and click, reorder, done, reorder, done, reorder, done. So that's the beauty in wholesale. It's products you can just order over and over again, unlike retail arbitrage, where you have to go out and find products. And typically with retail arbitrage, unless you're doing grocery or some type of replan, you're not going to find a ton of products that you're just going to be able to buy every single week or every single month. Right now being toy season, of course, there's all these hot toys that have been floating around. We've all been buying up every single week. But that only lasts for like 6 to 8 weeks. Once that's done, you have to go find new products every single time. So it will save time in the long run for wholesale, which I'm really excited about. The idea that I can just like the idea that I can just reorder stuff every single month and it's not going to take up a ton of time is very appealing. Joseph says, I've tried eFlip and found it not to be useful, but I'm wanting to try it again, but I'm more interested in tactical arbitrage. Yeah, Joseph, you know, every program is not going to be for everybody. So if you tried something, you just don't like it. My first question is, did you use it correctly? Because that's always the one thing. So if you get into a program like eFlip, tactical arbitrage, any software out there, there's tons of them. If you ever try one and it just doesn't work for you, ask for help with it. Like look up YouTube videos, Google it, see what advice people give. And find somebody who's using it and see if they can give you a few pieces of advice. There's so many YouTube videos on all these programs. Just especially with something like tactical arbitrage, you've got to play around with those filters. Same thing with eFlip. Like you've got to play around with your filters and learn to read Keepa graphs if you really want to get good at that stuff. Keepa is everything when it comes to that. Oh my gosh, we made it to the bottom. Sweet. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. If you were on live, I appreciate each of you taking time to watch this. If you're watching the recording, I also appreciate you being here. But aside from that, we're at our hour mark, which I don't like to push these more than an hour. We will be back next week. I think we're going to try to shoot for Tuesday night. If not, it will be Thursday night. Actually, you know what? Thursday night, we are going to have a guest speaker on. We're going to be talking about some insurance requirements that Amazon is going to be getting strict on. So that's going to be a really good topic to cover. It's not always the fun topic, but it's one that's going to be very, very focused on as far as what Amazon's doing in the future. So stay tuned for next week. We'll keep you guys posted. And if you guys have any questions at all, comment below. I'll come back through and comment back and answer those. You can always reach out to me on Instagram, Side Hustle Pros. And I'm in there every single day getting people's DMs and answering back to those. So you guys have a great night. This has been Chaz. Peace out, crew. I'll see you next time.